You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
We're speaking at this time to none other than Juggalo Championship Wrestling's Too Tough Tony. How are you tonight, Tony?
What's up, my man? What's up, Will? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing fantabulous.
And let me correct my man. If you know, hardcore is an art form, just like wrestling's an art form. You know, the guys coming up now, they're using hardcore to cover up their wrestling skills. So the whole ideal of hardcore is to be able to work just like me and you will, and to be able to do the hardcore bumps. So I'm just going into random shit. You guys don't worry about me.
I tell you what,
I'm drunk as hell.
Tony, we're going to get to all that because trust me, we had the Madman Pondo has been on with us, and so has the Micro Butcher. We've got talking to, you know, a lot about hardcore wrestling and their thoughts on things, and we're definitely going to get yours as well.
Okay.
The thing I did not know about you, Tony, when I actually did some research on you, is I was not aware that you were trained by the Moondogs. Tell us a little bit about that experience, how you got your start, I guess, in wrestling, and what it was like hooking up with the Moondogs. Those wild guys they are.
What happened was, you know, I'm in Louisville, and you know there ain't really that much to do. I mean, there is, but there ain't. And you know, I've never been out of town before. This is probably back in '96, '97, and I'm just now getting out of high school. Oh no, I'm lying. I was like in 11th grade or something like that. And my buddies and them was going down to Arkansas. They was going to become professional wrestlers. And when I tell this story, I accidentally got into wrestling, you know, because
were you a fan at all before you went with your buddies?
Yes. I used to watch it every Saturday morning. USWF.
Okay.
Became a wrestler. Accidentally became Too Tough Tony. But anyway, so back to the original story is that, you know, I'm in Louisville. My buddies are going out of town. They're traveling to Arkansas. Matter of fact, the guy's name was the Louisville Sluggers. And so they was going down to Arkansas, and I ran into them on a Thursday. He was like, we're leaving to go into Arkansas. And I've never been out of Louisville, so I was like, hell yeah, I'm down to go to Arkansas. I didn't care what they was doing. I just wanted to get out of Louisville. But they was going down to Arkansas to train with the Moondogs, Rex and Spot. And so that weekend comes along, that Friday, we hop in his old Lincoln, we drive down to Arkansas. And when we get to Arkansas, we pull into this, like, country, you just gotta imagine it's like, I don't know, 8 acres, 10 acres or something like that. We pull into this old, you know, prairie house looking, and it was a farm, you know, like a mini farm. And then it had like this old broken down barn out there. So we get out of the car, and they head straight to the barn. So I follow them right into the barn. And in the barn, there was the ring, you know. And so I just sit back, watch. They're up in the ring getting trained, and turn around. Larry, it was Larry, I think, said, come here, Tony, I want to show them something. So Larry grabs me, whips me into the ropes. I come right back at him. He said, do that again. Turn around and hit the ropes, come back at him. He grabbed me, and I think he was trying to show them maybe a hip toss or something. I'm trying to remember. He was showing them a move or something, but he wanted to show the guys on me, you know, so they could get a better view of it. So whatever he did to me, he's like, kid, you're natural, you know. He said, go ahead and hit the ropes again. You know, I've watched them, you know, hit the ropes. So I'm outside just training outside the ring watching them guys. So I'm picking up on everything they're doing. So anyway, that's pretty much my lame ass story, you know, is that fucking, I accidentally got into wrestling. And then from there on, I trained. I trained with them guys for a little bit. When it came back to Louisville, I was working for a company called BBW, which was Bad to the Bone Wrestling. Joe Bailey, God rest his soul. JC, God rest his soul. But, you know, I started out with them guys, man. And I'm trying to remember where I was going to with this story. Like I said, my stories are lame, man. When you got Pondo and them on here, man, they know how to tell a story. Me, fuck, I'm fucked up, man. You know, but, trying to remember where I was going with this. Okay. So, Joe Bailey, I went to BBW, and from there on, you know, I became a wrestler. I developed Too Tough Tony. And then soon after that, I went to IWA, stayed around the IWA, Ian Rotten's group for about, 12, 13 years, something like that. But, while I was with Ian, I got a chance to go to Japan. I went to Japan for 8 years. I've been all over the United States, man. Been, 3 different countries, and it's been good to me, man.
Well, we've got lots of questions for you, Tony, tonight, including Japan, because I know Zane will have a special Japanese question for you, but we'll save it for him for a little bit later. Tony, did you graduate from the School of Alcohol before wrestling or after wrestling?
Well, kind of like during. I was doing both of them, In high school, I was fucking drinking. Wrestling, I was drinking. It just comes with everything else, the moonshine, the Bacardi lemon, So, hey, I grew up with it, you could say.
So when you were developing your character and you said you created Too Tough Tony, did you have intentions, I guess, at the beginning of your career that you were going to be a hardcore wrestler, or did it just kind of present itself to you?
Well, at the time, when you go to Ian Rotten's, and, that's what he likes doing. He likes doing the deathmatch style,
right.
Japanese style. So I kind of went there. My first match there was Ox Harley. I don't know if you know that guy. Now,
yes.
Ox Harley, he was some big shit, back in the IWA days. So my first match, I'm all fucking nervous and stuff. Ox Harley just beat the shit out of me, right? And then Ian's like, well, we can't use this guy. And Pondo's going, no, Ian, man, Tony, he's got some good shit, Let me work him, Ian. Let me work him. He said that he'd bring it out in me. So the following time I come back, I work Madman Pondo. Got to do all my shit, got to work, instead of somebody just eating me up. And that's what Ox did. But, me and Ox became real good friends, so I learned how to protect myself, you know what I'm saying? If I think somebody's trying to hurt me, I'm going to fire back. So, being in the ring with, what I'm getting at is being in the ring with Ox, he was tough, man. He'd whoop your ass. So, to either fight back or let him kick your ass. Eventually I started fighting back.
I guess when you started, Tony, though, did you have any dream in the world that you'd be a hardcore wrestler, or is it? I know when you get involved with Ian, that's what you're going to get into because that's what he's known for. But when you started and you were with the Moondogs and your buddies and everything, did you think in a million years you'd be, cracking your head with light bulbs and packs and all kinds of goofy stuff, or did you really thought you were just going to be a strict up wrestler?
Well, I was wrestling, and like when I went to Ian's, I seen that Pondo was getting hit with stuff, Bull Payne was getting hit with stuff, and people was loving them, So, I kind of, I guess I threw myself out there, and when I threw myself out there, it's either kill or be killed, So it's like, I don't even know how I became a deathmatch wrestler. But now as I'm getting older, I become a regular wrestler, and I could do that before, but, our hardcore, the way we was doing it, we're doing wrestling into the hardcore bumps,
This is the Undisputed Wrestling Show. We are talking to none other than Too Tough Tony. Tony, the show is from Indianapolis, so we are pretty familiar with your career as you've rolled through these areas on numerous occasions. Last time I saw you, I'm trying to think, last time I personally saw you, it was 2 years ago. You and Madman Pondo were working for Don Bassler down at Wild Championship Wrestling Outlaws.
Yeah, WCWO. Yeah.
Yeah, Brutus the Barber Beefcake was there that night. It was a good night. I enjoyed watching you guys.
Appreciate it.
But you know what? Down south where Ian's at, obviously in southern Indiana, it is a massively hardcore style. But my question to you is, Ian, I guess, what did you learn from him? And secondly, with all the crap that's going in the, all over the internet wrestling community now with Ian Rotten and getting bashed all over the place, what's your thoughts of Ian Rotten?
Well, don't take a check from Ian Rotten. That's my first thing. Okay. My second thing is, I mean, you got to give it to the man. He's smart, even though I don't do business with him no more. But the man's smart. He's still got IWA up and going, and I'm not taking nothing away from the man. And, you know, if I see Ian on the streets and say, hey, how you doing? You know, I'll talk to Ian, but as business-wise, I won't deal with Ian. But, I mean, you got to give it to him, man. Somehow he's still keeping them coming in. Somehow he's finding new deathmatch wrestlers. You know, he's making people stars, you know, in their little world, you know. And, you got to give it up to him. I mean, there ain't nothing bad I can say about the guy, you know, except don't take a check from him because you're going to bounce him from here to Indianapolis.